Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some more massive news coming from the transfer portal as CJ Williams, a former top 75 guy nationally in the 2022 class, formerly at USC, has committed to Luke Fickell in the Wisconsin Badgers. This Wisconsin Badgers team is slowly making a really big time dent in the 2023 transfer portal. And you're looking at the Big Ten West and what kind of teams are pushing to win and kind of play for a Big Ten championship. It's really hard to convince me that this Wisconsin Badgers team is not in the driver's seat when it comes to winning the Big Ten West. Before we get into CJ Williams, what he brings to the team and what this offense might look like in 2023 and kind of where this program is headed, I just want to say thank you guys for the support you guys have shown. We've talked Nick Evers, we've talked Tanner Mordecai. The support you guys have shown, Wisconsin Badgers fans, college football fans in general, truly means a lot. And the best part of making these videos is interacting with you guys in the comment section. You guys know your teams in a lot of times better than I do. And the support you guys have shown truly means a lot. We love doing this. And if you do want to support the channel, consider subscribing to the channel. We really do appreciate what you guys have done. Let's get into CJ Williams. So again, we talked about it. This guy is an elite level caliber dude. Athletically, you don't earn a top 75 spot nationally in 24/7 recruiting rankings if you are not a very, very good athlete. And you're getting a guy that is elite catching the ball at the highest point. He's 6'2", 190 pounds, really, really good in the 50-50 balls. Played his football at Mater Dei. And if you don't know where Mater Dei is, it's out in California. A lot of the best players in the Pac-12, and they go everywhere across the country, come from this school. It's one of the best high school football programs, truly kind of a college football program already. And so when you're getting these guys from high school, they kind of already have those collegiate bodies, are ready to play Power 5 football. More importantly, and we'll talk more about what CJ Williams brings to this team, kind of something we've been talking about a lot with some of these recruits and commits rolling in is these type of guys weren't really considering Wisconsin couple of years ago under Paul Chryst. And as good as Paul Chryst was for this Wisconsin team and how solid they were in the Big Ten West, they were kind of capped from a recruiting standpoint, getting some of these impact players on the outside, whether it's a quarterback or whether it's a wide receiver, because you look at that Wisconsin offense, and if you're an elite receiver coming out of high school, that's not necessarily where you want to go because they don't throw the ball. They don't really push the ball down the field that much, and you're not really going to have that much of an opportunity to show your athletic ability and kind of move up to the next level and develop as a wide receiver or quarterback in a lot of aspects. Now, Luke Fickell is a phenomenal hire. And I think when we talk about the best hires, Coach Prime, Matt Rhule, Luke Fickell, I think those are the three best hires we saw in the offseason. What I don't think is being talked about enough, and what I sneakily think is really going to help this team, is Phil Longo coming in as the OC. And I don't think they're going to get away from the kind of smash mouth football that Wisconsin has prided themselves on throughout the years. But you're going to see it open up a little bit more and try to get some of these athletes in space a little bit more. And Phil Longo's recruiting pitch is not that hard. You just say, turn on the film from the last couple of years of my time at UNC. And if you're an elite playmaker like a CJ Williams, it doesn't take that much to entice you to go play for Phil Longo's offense, because it is historically at UNC was one of the best offenses in the whole entire country for 3 straight years. Guys like Sam Howell, Drake May, Josh Downs, elite level guys are going to the NFL from this system. And if you want to be coached up, if you want to have an opportunity to perform, put up big numbers, you can do that in the Phil Longo offense. And before this, Wisconsin just had so much trouble getting some of these elite playmakers, especially at the wide receiver position, to come into Wisconsin, because again, you're not going to have that much of an opportunity to show what you're made out of, because again, Wisconsin likes to run the football a lot. Something Michigan, that's my team, has struggled with as well. When you have your identity running the football, it's really hard to convince some of these elite wide receivers to come to your program. Phil Longo, on the other hand, yeah, I think Wisconsin's still going to run the football, and they're going to do it very well with Braylon Allen next year. They're going to be able to get some more of these kind of blue chip athletes on the outside. And that, I truly think, is what's going to be special about the Luke Fickell and Phil Longo era. And you take a look at what Wisconsin is doing through the transfer portal, you're kind of seeing that. So you take a look, you get the commitment from CJ Williams, who, in my opinion, is going to be an immediate impact dude. You look at his stats last year, he only saw the field a little bit, 4 catches for 34 yards. that was not because CJ Williams is not a good player. That's because Jordan Addison, Mario Williams, Kyle Ford, this USC team, Taj Washington, was loaded with wide receiver talent. And no matter how good of a recruit you were out of high school, as an 18-year-old kid, you were going to have trouble breaking into that starting lineup for USC. And I think that's why you saw CJ Williams kind of get buried in the depth chart a little bit and decide to transfer out. I don't think this is an example of a dude that isn't good enough, is in the transfer portal because he's not that good of a football player. He's a young kid who didn't really get a chance to show what he's made of yet. And so he's hitting the portal to go to a place where he can kind of have that opportunity to make it happen. Now, you get Quincy Burrows from Cincinnati, and also a very, very solid football player. The trend is some of these players, like impact players on the offensive side of the ball, want to come to Wisconsin. And I think Luke Fickell might be part of it. In my opinion, more of the part of it is Phil Longo. There's a reason you have 3 quarterbacks coming into Wisconsin this year, because look at what Phil Longo's done with the quarterback position. Sam Howell, NFL draft pick. Drake May, almost a lock to go top 10, top 5, maybe even top 1 in 2024. So Braden Lockey from Mississippi State. We talked about Jake Renfro. I think that's a very, very good pickup. But more importantly, Tanner Mordecai, probably going to be your quarterback 1 heading into 2023, if you guys checked out what we talked about Tanner Mordecai, he is, I think, one of the perfect quarterbacks to do what Phil Longo wants to do. He's a good athlete, but has the arm to kind of sling it and make all the throws that this Phil Longo offense will ask you to make. And then you have Nick Evers. So Tanner Mordecai kind of coming in and being your veteran dude who you know what you're going to get with him. You're going to get one of the more highly productive quarterbacks the FBS has seen over the last 2 years. And then you have 2 really young guys, and Nick Evers probably the guy I'm most excited for the future. Again, young kid, hasn't really had a chance to show what he's made of, kind of being buried in that Oklahoma depth chart. But once Tanner Mordecai's done in Madison, I think Nick Evers will be ready to step up and kind of take the reins of this offense. This is, in my opinion, a very exciting time for Wisconsin. They're landing some athletes. This offense is going to be a lot more exciting, especially as a fan. Like, you are going to score a lot more points. You're going to play a little bit more fast. And death taxes in Wisconsin's defense being solid. Now, they might not put up the numbers that you've seen the last 10 years, because what Wisconsin did is they just kind of limited the amount of possession. So the defensive numbers are going to look good. They might not look as good, but this defense is still going to be good. They're still going to take away the football. And I think when you look at kind of competing for a Big Ten title and looking at teams like Ohio State, looking at teams like Michigan, or even inside the Big Ten West, looking at teams like Iowa, Wisconsin is looking to match those teams athletically. And right now, I think they're going to have one of the better offenses in the Big Ten West. But no doubt, the reason why they got rid of Paul Chryst is we want to start competing for Big Ten titles, not just winning the Big Ten West. And if you want to do that, you have to start bringing in the caliber athletes that Ohio State and Michigan are bringing in. I think Luke Fickell and Phil Longo are going to start attracting some more of those caliber athletes. And again, the future of Wisconsin football, very, very, very bright, very exciting. Going to be one of the teams I'm going to be watching a lot, because Luke Fickell, in my opinion, is one of the best head coaches in the entire country. And hard not to be a fan of how the Wisconsin Badgers play. It's a very, very fun program to watch. Again, wanted to keep this one short, but again, if you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate the support, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.